Yo, good evening, everybody. Welcome in, Titan Nation, and welcome into another live edition of Titans and Truth. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we're going to have a lot of fun this evening. And we're definitely going to get into some good talk about the Tennessee Titans in this upcoming matchup against the Houston Texans. Of course, the Texans are coming in. They are also 0-1 following a 27-20 loss to the New England Patriots up in Foxborough. And and before we are going to talk about this game a little bit further, and we're going to talk about some of the keys that the Titans need to follow to get this win over the Houston Texans. And then and before that, we're going to get into some other Titan related news as well. But I want everybody to come on in and share this show out. What's going on, AZ Mick? How's it going? Make sure y'all spread the word. Share the show out to everybody. You can let everybody know that we are on YouTube and it is live. So do that. And then also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you do. You can subscribe onto the channel. What's up, Shane? How's it going? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down at the bottom and go ahead and subscribe on and be one of my followers because I need to get up to about 300 subscribers. We want to get up to 300 before week three's matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, like I told y'all the last show, post-game show, I put a challenge out to Titan fans. I need y'all to step up. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and come on and join the TNT Enforcers. Join the crew. You'll be glad you did. So we're about to get into this in a minute. I'm just going to let everybody else file in a little bit, get a few more viewers in here, and then we're going to get started in just a moment. And I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's doing really, really good. And, I hope everybody is having a very good day, very good evening. But we're going to definitely have a nice little show, and then we're going to have a little bit of fun. All right. But let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and get started with this show. We got everything coming in. And so first thing I want to do is make sure we start off with the injury report. Of course, the Titans did practice today and had a full practice. And we're going to get to some good news first. And the good news is Marcus Mariota did fully practice, as AZ Mick was referring to, saying Marcus is going to play, Vrabel said, and that is correct. Marcus Mariota went through practice fully. Now, he did say that, he does still experience a little bit of tingling in his hand, but he went through the full practice. Everything seemed to go well. He said it didn't really impact his velocity or anything like that. And Coach Vrabel, Mike Vrabel said, barring any setbacks, Marcus Mariota is set to play this Sunday in the home opener against the Houston Texans. So that is very, very good news. As long as Marcus is able to grip the ball and be able to get some good delivery on it, he should be just fine and ready to go this Sunday. Also, some other good news, Rashaan Evans, according to Music City Miracles, some of those guys over there, and Terry McCormick had wrote earlier that he was put on the shoulder pads. That he might do a little something in practice. He was put on the pads, and then Music City Miracle, as in one of their articles, I can't remember which one, but they said Rashaan Evans fully practiced as well. He was not on the injury report. He was not on that injury report, so all accounts looking like Rashaan Evans might even go this Sunday as well. And if it is, that is amazing news. It'll be about time that we got him on the field. So let's see. Rodney saying, let's have faith that it's going to be a good season, not as bad as everyone else has seemed to give up. Well, we're going to find that out. I know, like I said, I hope I talked some people off the ledge I hope I talked some people off the ledge the other night when I had to kind of get mad and lay it down on everybody in Titan Nation, but hopefully that everybody will know not to give up and everything. So yeah, let's just have a little faith. Let's see what's going on this week. This season's not over. Like I said, we got 15 games to go, including this one, and we have some chance to make up some ground. This particular game is a big one to actually do that because you're facing a division rival. So not only would it be a victory, but you get a leg up on a division rival as well. So I definitely like how that could possibly happen. So, Rashaan Evans could play a big role in that. He could play a huge role in this Titan defense if he's able to go. Now, unfortunately, now we get to some bad news. Bad news is Taylor Lewan, he came to the facility today to, go through the concussion protocol and see the trainers and stuff like that. But the trainers and everybody decided to send him home for rest. So, he's still going through the concussion protocol. We don't know if he's going to be able to play Sunday. Now, Coach Vrabel has not ruled him out for this Sunday, but we will. And, Taylor Lewan probably doesn't need to practice in order to play on Sunday, but it's probably a good idea to see him practice at least once before Sunday and see if he can actually go and not get dizzy and, maybe not get blinded by the light or have the lights affect him or anything like that, or the sun affect him or anything like that. So we need to find that out. But I would say, if Lewan ends up being okay, I think he's going to go. I don't think he's going to let anything like this stop him from playing. So, so we'll definitely see it there. And I'm just trying to get somebody else. I think somebody else trying to get on somebody else is trying to get on the watch. But having Taylor Lewan is going to be extremely important because, don't get me wrong, Kevin Pamphile and Dennis Kelly did a very, very, very good job on Robert Quinn and Cameron Wake, two very good pass rushers. So that much is true, but this group of pass rushers is a whole different animal altogether. You got J.J. Watt, you got Jadeveon Clowney, Whitney Merciless, you got guys like DJ Reader coming up the middle. So we're gonna need all of our offensive linemen, especially Taylor Lewan, and hopefully he'll be able to go this Sunday. Delaney Walker, of course, we know he will not be playing this Sunday, unfortunately, due to his injury. He had his surgery today on his ankle and is healing. Now, I did find out a little nugget, and I don't know if it's going to really be that big of a deal, but looks like Delaney was placed on IR, but he was also placed on the IR for a designation to return. So they, according to Austin Stanley of A to Z Sports, y'all check him out. He had his extra point earlier today after practice, and that they, on the injury report, Delaney Walker is on the short-term IR, which means, if things are getting better after week 8, Delaney Walker will be able to return. Now, it is a dislocated ankle, and I know Vrabel is not going to want to push too fast to have him back. So I think I think Delaney Walker's still out for the entire year, but that was very interesting that, they have him on the IR with the designation to return IR. So, maybe he does come back. I doubt it. But we'll have to see about that, but I think he'll definitely be ready to go next season. Now, Harold Landry and Kendrick Lewis were two other guys who did not practice today. And then, shockingly enough, I know listed on the injury report, they had Corey Davis listed as limited participation due to the hamstring, but according to a lot of sources, he was out there the whole day and pretty much practiced fully. practice fully and everything. Maybe they're just doing it for maintenance or precautionary reasons or something like that. So I'm not really sure why he was listed on there as limited. We'll probably find out more about that. I know that probably, scares a lot of people or anything like that. But on the Houston side, DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller were listed as limited participation for their practice with the Houston Texans. But we all know DeAndre Hopkins is going to play against us Sunday. Will Fuller, I don't know, but all points look like he's going to play also. So, I mean, you know, injury reports really don't mean much of anything. It's probably like gamesmanship, one-upsmanship, basically trying to, strategize and try to, try to get an advantage over an opponent. That's basically what I'm seeing here. It's like a chess match, basically. And y'all know how Vrabel is. He doesn't like to talk about injuries or anything like that. And I'm just going to read a couple comments. Rodney saying, let's be truthful. A lot of first-time coaches didn't do so good in week one. And he's absolutely right. First-time head coaches Sunday were 0-7. All coaches lost, including the worst one was probably Matt Patricia got embarrassed by the New York Jets, 48-17. So, I mean, Sam Darnold made a fool of him and the Detroit Lions. And, of course, the report was coming out that a lot of Detroit Lion players don't even like Matt Patricia. So that's not a very good sign after your first game. So, they got some work to do. They definitely have some work to do, and they got their work cut out for them. So, that's a very unfortunate situation that is happening right now. So we're going to see if they'll get it together or not. But, yeah, all the coaches lost in their first game. So not really a big deal on that. T-Swag 1420 said, what was with the eye gouges in Miami twice? Lost players for bid. Don't really know anything about that. Not really sure what was going on with eye gouges or anything like that. I mean, I don't know what was going on. Maybe something with eyes or something like that. But luckily, it doesn't seem to be anything serious. K2 saying on a positive note, with all the uncertainty surrounding our new everything, at least it was only a 7-point loss. I agree with that. Definitely, as I discussed before, with the team, with the Dolphins playing against us, the refs being against us, and the weather with Mother Nature. Yeah, being a 7-point loss, I mean, things could have went a lot worse. But things could have also went better too. So, I mean, being a 7-point game, yeah, they kept fighting. So I do give them that. Y'all said, I definitely say Delaney comes back if we somehow get back to the divisional round. Again, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting that he is designated to return, but not sure if he's going to actually come back from that injury, because that was a pretty gruesome injury. And if he's going to come back, he's got to be back as close to 100% as possible. And I don't know from that particular injury, he's going to be able to pull that off. We'll see going forwards. But right now, in my honest opinion, I think he's out for the season as everything. So we'll definitely get on that. Looks like some other comments going on. Emmanuel Green coming in saying, hey, Chris, do you think with the loss of Delaney, you think this will help Marcus? Well, there was an article about that in Music City Miracles about that, saying, this could be a good thing for Marcus not having Delaney Walker out there. And it could be a good thing. Now, it could also be a really, really bad thing. But on the good side, what will happen with this is that it forces others to step up. It forces Marcus to look at other options. It forces, Marcus got to step up his game and trust his other receivers. And also it makes the other receivers have to step up to gain Marcus's trust. So this is going to be huge for Corey Davis, Taywan Taylor, Tajay Sharp, Rashard Matthews, if he ever gets back into the fold. And mainly it's going to be huge for Jonnu Smith as well. Now, replacing a Delaney Walker, you're not going to be able to do that. can't replace a guy like Delaney Walker. And if you are, it's going to have to be a collection. It can't be one guy that's going to be able to pick up the slack. That means everybody is going to have to pick up the slack. And an interesting thing that I was hearing, from Austin and Zach at A to Z Sports and some other people was that now that Delaney is out, that's about 7 to maybe 900 yards of passing that needs to be picked up. That means, Corey Davis could pick up maybe an extra 200-300 yards. He might hit 1,000. Taywan Taylor could pick up a bunch of yards, maybe get to around 800. Rashard Matthews might be able to hit 1,000, because a couple of years ago he was at 965. He got close to 1,000, and I think last year finished around 800. So there's about 700 to 900 yards of receiving yards that is available for some other players to pick up. And also the productivity of the 70 to 80 catches. Again, there are balls to go around now. So this could be a very, very good thing. And again, this is going to show where Marcus has to trust his other guys to come through for him. And at the same time, the other guys have got to earn it. They got to come through for him as well. So I think that's going to be very important. And we're going to see throughout the year how that actually works. Shane, I think, is agreeing with K Truth. I think he may be able to come back around week 14 or 15. Okay, I think I see that. And, I think that's K True and Shane having some conversation there. But, yeah, I mean, we're going to definitely find out how this Walker injury affects the rest of the guys. John Lewis come in and said, hey, I'm ready to step up. I'm ready to step up and, play a bigger role. Corey says he's hungry, and you need to be that way. You got to be hungry in this league. And with this team coming in, and it's the first game at home, you better be hungry for a win. Everybody should be hungry. And I believe with this Delaney Walker injury, and I like what Wesley Woodyard said. Wesley Woodyard would say, Delaney's a heck of a guy and everything. And he said, with him going down, that's making me want to step up and play harder, dedicate playing harder to him, dedicate my, season to him. And you know what? I hope the whole team does something like that. The whole team needs to rally and say, you know what? We're dedicating this season to Delaney Walker. We're going to go out here and win for him. We're going to go out here and play harder for him. And we're going to go out there and give it our all and win for Delaney, because Delaney would do the exact same thing for the rest of the team. So I think that would be very, very special and very, very cool if they did something like that. And of course, Coach Vrabel came around and said there will be a rotating captain in place for Delaney Walker. But of course, Delaney Walker will always be a captain of this team. He's always been a leader. Can't replace that. There's no way you can replace that at all. So, with that being in mind. But again, with Corey Davis, I think he's going to go. He'll be fine. No need to panic about that. We'll find out some more this week. I'm hoping Harold Landry at least at some point practices, because we're going to need him going down the road. And Emmanuel, to answer your question as I was going over, I don't think it's anything serious or severe. I think they're just taking precaution. Word was that he practiced the whole time and did just about everything. So Corey Davis is going to be good to go. He's going to be fine. I'm not worried about Corey Davis. I'm not worried about the injury, if there is one. I think Corey is fine, y'all. So no need to panic on that. No need to, oh my God, here we go again. It's no need to do that, y'all. Now, if he goes down and hurts a hamstring or is not out there much on tomorrow or Friday, then yeah, we might have a bit of a problem. But until then, I don't think so, y'all. I think it's going to be fine. So let's all just bring it down a notch, y'all. Let's keep it positive. But I'm just looking at some other things going on. I'm trying to keep up with my reports and stuff like that. So y'all excuse me for looking down. I'm looking at my phone, just making sure I haven't missed anything. And obviously, and another thing I did like to see, I did like hearing the story of how, Vrabel says he wants excuse me. He wants like Delaney Walker and Jonathan Cyprian to be around to help the team. And Cyprian basically came out and said, I still want to help this team win. Even if I'm injured and out, I can still at least help, as far as helping coach up the defensive backs or at least get some advice, say, hey, you could do this, you could do that, and everything. I mean, Cyprian might not have been good on the field, but he might be better off the field. So I'm, definitely looking at that, and I think that we're getting some guys back. Again, I think Jack Conklin, maybe a few weeks back from possibly playing, and we're definitely going to find out. Hopefully he practices a little bit more, and we'll be able to go, in a few weeks' time, but. That's enough about injuries and everything with that. And we're about to go into the preview of the Texans game and definitely talk about some things with that. Now, before we do that, I want to give a shout out to my cousin, LaCrystal Cleveland of Craft Gatsby. She's a big-time supporter of Titans and Truth. And as y'all can see, the Titans and Truth shirt, you can get this in navy. You can get this in baby blue. You can also get that in gray, sweatshirts, hoodies, shirts, to have all my information on the back. And when I get another shirt, of course, the Instagram is going to be a little different. That is my regular page. That's one of the pages you can follow. The other one will have it will have Titans_in_truth on it. So definitely you can get with her. You can get with her on Facebook. You can get with her on Instagram as well, under LaCrystal Cleveland or under Craft Gatsby Creations on Facebook, and then at Craft Gatsby_Creations on Instagram. To get shirts. I want to see some people wearing this shirt. I want to see some people wearing the shirts with me. So I think that would be really, really cool. And what I may end up doing later this season is maybe giving one away to a deserving fan. So I may give away a shirt and send it to somebody. So that might be something that comes maybe mid-season as we keep going. What's up, Mitch? Welcome in, and everything. So let's get into this game with the Houston Texans. And I'm just looking at some other things that were happening at practice. Let's see. Okay, they were saying other guys limited. Derek Morgan and Matt Dickerson was limited, but Derek Morgan's going to probably try to play too. He's still recovering from his knee injury. And also, Coach Vrabel did say that Rashard Matthews needs to step up and get in his offense. He basically said he's got to get better and get caught up with this offense as well. And I agree with that. I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's been out, pretty much all off season. And now he's got to basically do a crash course in catching up. And so that's an issue, but that's an issue that I think that could possibly work itself out. So Rashard's going to have to go ahead and get up to speed rather quickly because we're going to need him. We're definitely going to need him going down the stretch of the season. So that was a quick little nugget right there. But going into week 2, we got the Houston Texans coming in here. This is our home opener. So Nissan Stadium is going to be jam-packed. I need everybody there as well. I'm going to be there. And like I said, if y'all are in Nashville or in the surrounding area and you are going to this game, I will urge y'all to meet up with me in the north end zone. Close to section 143. And that'll be over close to where you could go under the upper deck, going over to the I want to say the west side of the stadium. That's close to the home side, where everybody close to the tunnel where everybody comes out. I want to meet up with everybody. Maybe get a big Titans and Truth picture, or maybe do a quick Facebook Live with some of you on there. Talking to everybody and everything. Maybe get a couple predictions on this game. So I really want to get with everybody on that. So I urge y'all to meet me in the north end zone. like I said, I'm either going to be wearing my light blue Newell jersey, the number 70 jersey, or I'm going to be wearing my Titans and True shirt that I just showed. So I'm going to be wearing one of the two. I will let y'all know probably by Friday. I'm going to put out a message on Instagram, on Facebook, and Twitter of what I'm going to wear. And so y'all can meet up with me on that because I do want to see everybody. I want to get with everybody on that. So that's going to be very important. But in this game, Houston, of course, coming off of a tough 27-20 loss to the New England Patriots. Of course, Deshaun Watson was 17-34, 176. He had a touchdown. He had a touchdown pass, but he also threw an interception. He also had a fumble on a option run as well. So, Deshaun didn't really have his best day. Lamar Miller was probably the best player at 20 carries for 98 yards. DeAndre Hopkins had 8 catches for 78 yards. I'm trying to see anybody else do anything that was significant. Looks like it wasn't. Let's see. Now, DJ Reader had a couple of sacks. J.J. Watt didn't have any sacks. Neither did Jadeveon Clowney as well. So none of them were very effective in the game. But with that being said, even though Deshaun Watson didn't have his best game, J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney weren't as effective. We cannot emphasize enough how important this game is. J.J. Watt and, Jadeveon Clowney are two of the most dangerous football players in this league. They are legit for a reason. And that's going to be very, very difficult that the Titans have to deal with. But we got to find a way to deal with it and get this win. Mitch saying offensive line better be good or Mariota will be in trouble. And that is absolutely correct, Mitch. And that's why I'm going to go into first what we should do offensively against this Texan defense. And a couple of points I'm going to make. Number one, offensive line play is going to be massively important. Yes, again, Pat Phil and Dennis Kelly did a great job against Robert Quinn and Cameron Wake, two great pass rushers. However, this pass rush is a different animal altogether. I mean, we're hoping that Taylor Lewan comes back because in this particular type of game, we need a guy like Taylor Lewan. But you have to be able to block J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, DJ Reader, Whitney Merciless. You may have some blitzing going on with Zach Cunningham and Bernard McKinney. You got to block all those guys at the same time. And it's a very difficult task. And one thing that the Patriots did well against them is that, the tackles and the guards had some help. They did a lot of doubling. They did a lot of doubling on Watt and on Jadeveon Clowney to make sure that they were not very much involved. And I think that's the same thing that they're going to have to do. I would rather take my chances with Jadeveon Clowney than with J.J. Watt. I would rather go one-on-one with Jadeveon Clowney than with J.J. Watt. I would double-team J.J. Watt as much as we possibly could. That would be something that I would do. But I would definitely try to contain Jadeveon as much as possible, too. You got to contain those guys and watch out for Whitney Merciless as well. And Dion Lewis is going to be very important in this game because James White for the Patriots had some very positive yards against this Texan defense. And so we're going to have to use Dion Lewis in this game. I think early Dion Lewis can tire them out a little bit and maybe cause some confusion or some problems. And then Derrick Henry takes care of business late in the game. That's going to be something to look out for. Wide receiver wise, this is a big game for them. Kevin Johnson, one of the defensive backs, is already on IR. He didn't really have a particularly good game. Their secondary really didn't have a great game at all as far as having trouble covering Gronkowski and stuff like that. But this is a big game for Corey Davis because, I mean, if you can get some advantage on like a Kareem Jackson and maybe throw away from where Tyrann Mathieu is, because Mathieu is still one of the best safeties in the league. This is not going to be an easy defense to throw on, but a lot of success that Brady had were from dinks and dunks. And so, if Mariota can do some of the same things, he could be very successful as well. And so, that's going to be important too. So, Corey Davis is going to have to play a big game. Jonnu's going to have to play a big game. And Vrabel has already come out and said, we got to get Taywan Taylor more involved in the game too. Maybe some quick screens to both of those guys can get them involved and things like that. So that's going to be very, very important. And, this is going to be the first test without Delanie Walker. They're going to try everything in their power to make Marcus throw the football and see if these receivers can make some plays. And we got to believe that they will, but we're going to definitely find out. And it's not going to be an easy challenge, even though the secondary may not be as great as they once were. Mama's boy coming in saying, we had the number 1 rated pass blocking last game. Can people please stop blaming the offensive line? I'm not blaming the offensive line at all. The offensive line did a pretty decent job as far as protecting Mario. They got to do a little bit better in the run game, but I think that was coming as time went on. So, definitely not blaming the offensive line. I'm just saying the offensive line is going to have a really good game this week because this is a vaunted pass rush that's coming their way. And so that's going to be very, very important. Defensively, what we're going to have to do in this game, because Deshaun Watson's on the other side. So one thing that we have to do is, Marcus is an RPO type of guy. So is Deshaun Watson. They're very, very similar. One thing that we have to do is we've got to collapse the pocket. We've got to make Deshaun throw from the pocket, and, we cannot allow him to run. We have got to close up all gaps. We cannot let Deshaun Watson have an alley to escape, because if you let him escape out of the pocket, he could cause major damage with his legs and extend plays. Thank God instead of this year, from last year, thank God we ain't got Bryce McCain that's going to be trying to cover DeAndre Hopkins. I think they're going to collectively at times put Adoree Jackson on Hopkins and definitely put Malcolm Butler on DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins he's not really a deep threat. He's a very consistent receiver that catches a lot of balls. And Deshaun Watson tries to go to DeAndre Hopkins early and often. So I think the best strategy is to definitely put Malcolm Butler on DeAndre Hopkins, and and at times maybe a Logan Ryan at times too. But I think definitely Malcolm Butler on DeAndre Hopkins. Definitely put maybe Logan Ryan on Bruce Ellington, and then you gotta put Adoree Jackson on Will Fuller, because Will Fuller is a speedster. He's a speed demon, and you got to have speed to keep up with speed, and that's what Adoree Jackson has. Will Fuller is the deep ball threat. Adoree has got to stay with him, and Adoree has got to find a way to maybe mess him up so he doesn't catch, or maybe pick off a pass or two. So I think that would be the strategy I would employ. And if they go deep with Malcolm Butler, anytime there may be one-on-one with Butler, they need to have a safety over the top, whether it is Vaccaro or Kevin Byard. There needs to be a safety over top, especially with DeAndre Hopkins. I would rather take my chances one-on-one with Will Fuller than I would with DeAndre Hopkins. I would try to take Hopkins away as much as possible, because that's who Deshaun Watson looks to the most. Very much like Andy Dalton looks to A.J. Green a whole lot. So that's something that I would do. I would try to double team DeAndre Hopkins as much as possible and keep him out of the game. Make the other guys beat you. That's what I would do if I was Dean Pease on that. And another thing, we gotta have a pass rush. We did not have much of a pass rush in the last game, and Tannehill picked us apart a little bit because of that. We have got to get after Deshaun Watson. We got to hit him early. We got to hit him often, maybe make the ball come loose and stuff like that, because the Patriots hit Deshaun Watson 12 times last week. Hit him 12 times. And so they were knocking him to the ground. If you get some hits on them, that disturbs the passes, that can mess up the velocity, that can lead to some interceptions, that can also lead to turnovers. So that's going to be extremely key that we get pass rush going and stop Deshaun Watson. Another thing that we have to do is the run defense has to be better. I think the run defense got better as the game went on, but early on in the first half, I mean, Frank Gore and Kenyon Drake were gashing us for everything we had. But this time we got Alfred Blue and Lamar Miller. We have got to stop them in the backfield, and we have got to find ways to at least stop them and, force Deshaun Watson down to throw it from in the pocket and not get rolled outside of the pocket to beat us. So that's huge on that. Mitch comes in saying Byard will have 2 picks, pressure him to throw the ball. I hope so. I think Byard may get a pick in this game, but we'll find out on that. We're going to have to see what's going on. But as far as they play smart and play together, I think they could definitely cause a couple of turnovers. But again, we got to attack this offensive line because the Texan offensive line is not exactly great, not exactly stellar. So, I mean, there can be some opportunities there, and we just got to keep fighting. We got to keep fighting. We just got to make sure Deshaun Watson doesn't beat us with his legs and force him into some mistakes. Deshaun Watson is known to make a few mistakes. So we got to make him make mistakes and capitalize on those mistakes. And that's going to be huge. Special teams also is going to play a big role, especially Will Fuller is back there returning kicks or punts. And Adoree Jackson could be a role too. As long as Brendan Trawick gets out of the way on a return, we might be able to do some damage as well. So that's what I think could be a big time possibility on that, and some things that I'm looking forward to in this game. And it looks like a man will come in and say, do you like Darius Jennings or Adoree Jackson returning kicks now that Jennings has showed us something? I would keep Darius Jennings on the kickoff for right now and let Adoree focus on the punt returning and playing defense. So I think that's where I would go as far as Adoree Jackson and Darius Jennings on that particular instance. But what's going to be happening after this? Sunday, I am going to be doing a pregame show, a very, very small, quick pregame show before I get ready to head to the stadium Sunday for the game against the Texans. And then, of course, after that, when I get back home Sunday night, I will do a post-game show, mostly exclusively on Facebook Live. So on Facebook, that's where I'm going to do the pre- and post-game. So if you have saved me on Facebook under Chris A. Newell, or if you're under TNT Enforcers under the fan page, then you'll be able to see it, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it exclusively on the TNT Enforcers page, and then I would implore y'all to share that out to everybody so that everybody can see it. But that was basically all I wanted to do, was preview the Texans a bit. Probably going to do a little bit more previewing, and I will give my prediction on Sunday as far as what I think will happen with this game, and seeing if the Titans will win or not. But that's basically everything I had to add on that. And we'll definitely be previewing more going into Sunday. So if I hear anything else coming out, I'll definitely put it out on the TNT Enforcers page. Make sure y'all follow that page. Also, if you're on Instagram, follow at Titans_in_truth. That is the Titans and Truth fan page for Instagram, at TNT Blue Enforcer on Twitter, and also on the website, titansandtruth.wixsite.com. And so, again, I employ y'all to support Craft Gasman Creations. Get y'all some Titans and Truth shirts. And also, again, I am challenging y'all. Meet me in the North End Zone Sunday before the game kicks off. I'm probably going to get there probably about 11:30 or something like that. So I implore y'all to come out there and get up with me, meet up with me and everything. And so If you're late seeing this show, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if the show is good. Let me know if I need to do better on the show and everything like that. I like a good critique, and that'll help me be better. And also at the same time, share this out to everybody on Facebook. Talk about it on Instagram and everything with that, so that everybody else will know what's going on too. But thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth this evening. My name is Chris. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I will holler at y'all on Sunday, getting ready to beat them Texans.